what's going on currently. It's just so
Pretty
fucking.
much.
It's just so fucking funny. They're holding the remote Wiimote in their hand, and he's just like, "Yeah." I think people behind him excited. I don't know how that just worked out. So it's funny how life works out. By the way, we are live, Pong. It is funny how some things play out when you go, especially on the creative side of things. But that's the gaming industry, right? Monthly Griffin just subscribed. We go live. We already got somebody just subscribing.
Hey, gotta love that. Let's go. All love, man.
Look, hopefully you guys can hear us quite smoothly. Looks like Sick says, here, there you go. Appreciate you, Sick. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? How you feeling? It's been a while since we've been able to go backstage with you guys. I feel like, you know, we've been a little bit behind the last couple of weekends. I personally don't like that. It's kind of a personal thing. Like, I know, like Rand and Jazz, for an example, they'll go late. They're like, oh, you know, we always start 10, 15 minutes late.
We do.
It's like, I don't know. That's not us. We're never late. We're never late.
It's just bullshit.
We're never late.
How many mornings have I screwed up? Come on, Steele.
Oh,
Come on, man.
Here we go.
Come on.
Yeah, you guys already see what type of time Pong's on right now.
Shame the devil. Tell the truth. Come on, man.
You already see what type of time Pong's on right now. Might be getting a little bit of woe is me in here. No. Hopefully y'all are feeling pretty great this Saturday morning. We're definitely going to get into some things here shortly. But hopefully you guys liked the thumbnail. I'm going to try to put a little bit of creativity in there for some of the things that have been discussed this week. Some of the courtroom drama, some of the gaming things that we'll end up getting into. And again, if you guys don't want to hear any of the FTC talk, governing body talk, as part of the reason I also put the ECP in the title for the video, is because that's what we're going to use a lot of today, right? A lot of that educated consumer perspective, and us just giving our thoughts about what's going on. Again, we're not lawyers. We're not working for Microsoft or Sony or the FTC or any other governing bodies. This is just us as gamers, as people who have had professions their entire life, sales, business, whatever the case might be, customer service on any side, on any form of factor, and us also combining that with our gaming knowledge, right? Me and Paul collectively, between us, I have easily at least 40 years of gaming experience, and especially with us having
myself. Come on now.
Hey man, come on, man. Sorry. I'm trying to make it sound good, man. Damn.
We got like 60.
Look, man, I'm only 31. I'm trying to give me some years, man. No.
Only 31. You're old.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe. Well, I'm not 31 yet. I'm about to be 31. Like, don't age me yet. Don't age me, man. Damn.
You're just old. Anyway, now. There's no ages involved. You're just old. Maybe that's all you got to say nowadays.
No. I'll still be young. I'm on the path of being one of those older gentlemen. I want to be in my late 40s, 50s.
You see, Chad. He's in denial. He's in denial.
Talking about how good I look, right? Got to keep the workouts up, man. Got to keep the food coming in pretty well. Let me go ahead and mute up right on that real quick. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask real quick, how has y'all's week been so far, right? As we're getting some things set up for you guys, how's everybody's week been? Have you guys had a, hard week? Has work kicked your butt? It's Saturday morning. The time to get that energy to fuel your soul for the rest of your day. Let me know how y'all feeling, man. Paul's always got to steer that pot, man.
What?
Always stirring that pot.
I'm not stirring shit.
He's a pot stirrer.
I'm just giving you the truth. If the truth stirs, then maybe I am a stirrer.
Hey, you got to be a little pot stirrer. Sometimes ain't nothing wrong with stirring some pots. You get some good mashed potatoes in there. Maybe make a good gravy on the side. It'd be a good pot. I like to put some Gouda cheese in my mashed potatoes.
I don't know how the chat's feeling. Chat, how you feeling Saturday morning, huh?
I'm waiting for them to respond, man.
For those of us in the U.S. is celebrating the 4th of July, how's everybody feeling? Nice, Maybe extra long weekend for some of you all. Maybe. I took Monday off, so I got that 4-day weekend going here. So I'm excited about that. So for sure. But it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a hell of a good weekend, Steel.
Hey,
I really do.
Tim said, yeah, he had a busy week, but was able to take Friday afternoon off after having a good weekend. Hey, Tim, that sounds like an excellent way to get your weekend started.
Heck yeah.
I want to ask because a lot of the times I know some, and we can grow bigger, and I can't sit here and make a promise to you guys, but I do feel as though you guys are in the chat because I was a guy that was only in the chat, just listening to podcasts, not doing a podcast myself, and it always felt really dope to see the podcast is engaged with the chat, right? Really ask to see how y'all doing. People to light up the chat and be like, yeah, man, this. Even if we can't get to everything that y'all had going on, even if we can't answer everybody, just seeing that and seeing how y'all are doing, even if it's not perfect, because again, everybody got their own things going on in their life, and I understand. Again, I've been in tough points in my life. I'm sure we all have at some point. Although there'll be some others that say that they're perfect and have never had to deal with any drama. But,
Easy street the whole way, Steel. Come on.
So shout out to y'all if you ain't got no problems or nothing. Hopefully the guys walking with y'all pretty well. But nonetheless, I do want this to be a place where you can get kind of rewind down from your weekend. Maybe you're popped on some Diablo. Maybe you're like me who I'm pulling in content while I'm gaming or anything like that. And hopefully we do fuel your Saturday morning. You get out there, get your car washed, get the house cleaned up, get your gaming in, whatever you want to do, man. I just hope that this is a fantastic start to your weekend, and it can help you wind down quite a bit.
I agree, Steel. This is the place to be for Saturday mornings. There's lots of choices you could have, but if you choose us, again, that's extra special. And again, it's never assumed. It's just always appreciated, and that always comes from me and Steel, and has never changed. And again, we always said from the beginning, it didn't matter how big we got or how small we stayed, that this was the way that we wanted to do things. And again,
absolutely,
right or wrong or indifferent, we're here and we're still rocking and rolling. We are in season 3 now, which is crazy. And we're approaching 900 subs.
Yes.
And it's
really close.
We're like 3 away or something like that,
yes.
I think right now.
Yes.
And that's thanks in part to all of you too, showing up and showing the love and, hitting that like button and sharing it out. And, obviously also creating a part of the atmosphere when new people walk in and see our chat.
Yeah.
A lot of people have commented on what a great chat we've got, because again, that's what we wanted to develop here. That's who we wanted to be taking part in this show. Because as you know, Steel and I, we come with a certain type of energy.
We do
every Saturday morning, right? And if it's not for everybody, that's cool. It's probably not going to be for everybody. But guess what? We like it, and we hope all you love it, and you guys keep coming back every Saturday morning, so I gotta assume you do. I gotta assume this isn't just torture for you. Yeah. So thank you all for being here, man.
We definitely,
sure, 100%.
We definitely got a consistent base that keeps coming back to us, man, which is always a beautiful thing. And I know it's getting kind of sappy. I mean, we've done this a little bit, ending season 2 and beginning season 3. We got a little sappy with that. We seem to get sappy every time that we have a little point, a little moment to really chop it up and everything. But as we're approaching that 1K mark, right? It's a bookmark, right? It's a chapter, right? It's a place that I personally never thought that, and again, I could be being a little bit over dramatic here, but whichever. I didn't think that I would even have, 5, even 100 people who are going to be interested enough to watch 2 guys, because literally me and Paul have gone so far against the grain in so many different ways. We don't have hosts like that. We have a show that's longer than what most people recommend. But with all those things, see, and I think what separates us from a lot of other people is the way that we have the conversation. The multitudes of points that we make, the way that we talk about it, the way that we involve the chat, I think the combined nature of it all is why, you guys keep coming back. Again, Love the banter that we have here. Us being non-console centric, I imagine, also helps. People come in, they feel welcomed from every walk of life that they feel like they're part of, which is also a beautiful thing to see. Because I want to expand our community, man. It's about reaching those 3 billion gamers, and I know that seems like, you aren't even at 1K yet. Talk about 3 billion, and it's like, look, I mean, it's going to take one episode for us to end up popping off, right?
It's the idea, Steve.
It is the idea for sure.
It's the idea behind it that you want to reach out to everybody possible. Does Phil and Satya actually believe they can get 3 billion people in their ecosystem? Probably not. It's the idea behind it to go reach out and touch as many people as possible. Pause. Not literally touch as many people as possible.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, big pause.
You know what I'm saying. So, it's definitely the right idea, Steel. And again, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if we get there or not. Steel and I are still going to be here rocking, because what it truly comes down to, what it always boils down to, is we love this industry and we love talking the games and we love talking about everything that's going on with this. And this is like one of the best times ever. Like I said, golden age doesn't mean just the amount of games or the quality of games. It also just means the industry as a whole, right? This is changing as we are living through it, right? And it's crazy. And you could say there's a lot bigger things to be worked up about throughout life, but gaming is a big part of us, and it's a big part of who we are, and so therefore we care about it this way. So again, thank you all for joining us on this trip, man. It's been a blast. That's for damn sure. All right.
Yeah, man, 1,000%. So, needless to say, I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in, especially on a week-to-week basis. Please hit that like button if you're here already. Helps with the algorithms a lot. And again, we're almost 100 away from 1K, man. It would be dope if we were able to hit that. It's a big ass to get 100 subs in one show. Not to say it's not possible, right? It could definitely be possible. I've seen it happen on other channels. Somebody could end up rating us or whatever the case, and we could be there. Again, we do this for the fun of it, not because we're getting paid to do it. Again, if we were getting paid to do this, I think you would hear a lot more from me and Pong. Right?
If I could just focus on this, Steel, and do this for 6 to 8 hours per day, absolutely, brother. I'd be coming with news clips. I'd be coming with everything that you wanted. This would be a professionally run, like top down production.
Yep.
Because I'd be willing to do this for a living, for sure. 100%.
Exactly. I mean, it's always a fun time when you could do something that you actually love and care for. Again, and there's so many examples out there of how just me and you of Pong have kind of been able to see how we approach the overall industry versus how other people do, right? People will have these conversations, and just because we're not directly involved doesn't mean that we have to be dry or sound like we're bored or anything like that. But again, I guess that's what makes us unique, is because, again, we're able to talk about those things in a way that we care about, because we do actually care about the totality. It's not just what's coming to Xbox or what's coming to PlayStation or this drama over here or this drama over there. It's personality driven, content driven. It's thought provoking. It's all these wonderful things that we kind of combine together to create what we know is living split screen. And man, I can't wait to grow the brand bigger. Can't wait to see the growth. See how chat continues to move with us, right? And go from there, man. A beautiful thing to see. We are going to get started here soon. Shout out to Nam Omar, already hitting it with the horde divorce in the chat. You already know. I gotta get that. I'm gonna get that on the back of a shirt. But whenever we get our first line of merch, that's gonna be what's on the back of the shirts. Horde divorce.
Horde divorce.
And nobody else is gonna know what the hell that is.
Nobody's gonna know what the fuck that is.
That's fine. But that's and I think that's perfect. It'll be an inside joke. People see it on the back and be like, "What the fuck is a horde divorce?" Like, you had to be there listening to the Living Split Screen podcast.
You had to be there live.
Hey, Gay Pass Dad. Yes, it is Bong in Steel. It is Bong and Steel.
Bong and Steel. Thanks to Psychonauts last night. Mav cut us off because he wanted to get out of there. Mav cut us off right before, and Psychonauts He said, Bong and Steel, see you in the morning. I don't even know if Psycho realized
I
it.
don't
I was
think
like,
so.
Psycho, did you just say Bong? And then Mav cut the entire
He was taking a
thing,
rip.
so I had to put it in our DMs.
He was taking a rip real quick, I think. I don't know.
Probably.
Peter says, great sounds, great audio, playing games. Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Peter. First time I've seen your name in chat. If you're saying that the audio sounds good, that's always good for me to hear.
Love it.
Hopefully, the last week's audio, real quick, last kind of thing, as far as like bookkeeping thing goes. Hopefully last week's episode on the audio side of things, if those who listen on the audio side, sounded a bit better. I was able to up the quality from like the lowest to like a standard level. And so it's like right under the threshold of what we would need as far as it reaching max capacity. I can't upload at the highest quality as I would like because we do typically host longer shows, right? Since I record all the shows live, and then I break them down, turn them to MP3s, and then I get them uploaded and everything. Our shows, could be quite honest with you guys, if I did top quality, I mean, the video portion of our shows are easily over 100 gigs. Just to give you an example, right? You go download a game, right? It's a 100 gig game. Our videos are 100 gigs a piece. And yes, Tim, I am still on Discord. I got Discord set up, and actually, because of Discord changed everything, I still rank I at T is a 7 again everywhere. You'll be able to find me easily on Discord. You don't have to worry about the numbers or anything anymore. You'll just type that in, and you should be able to easily.
My stuff too.
Please do it, because the quicker you do it, you won't have to worry about other people possibly taking your name. So you don't have to have the numbers and shit. So keep that in mind. Excuse my French, just in case YouTube wants to hate on us for being adults and cussing a little bit there. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and get started getting ready to get it live for our audio listeners. I gotta go get some things set up for my daughter real quick. So I'm gonna let the intro ride maybe a little bit longer than it normally would. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Let's get locked and loaded and let's get into living split screen. Appreciate you guys. Let's get to it. Well, Mr. Anderson, you already know what time it is. It's a Saturday morning. You're locked in with Living Split Screen, your non-console-centric platform, talking about everything in the gaming industry. If you can't tell, I'm definitely on some WrestleMania type of hype today. I don't know what it is. I haven't watched wrestling in quite some time, but nonetheless, maybe it's just the type of energy that I put out there. I can't help it, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, brother. Yeah. Okay, my fault. That's the era of wrestling I came up with, so I can't help that.
That was a little much.
Anyway, yeah, it was a little much. I put a little effort into that one. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining episode 109 of Living Split Screen. We are in season 3. On that road to 1K, we're right over 900 subs. We're getting there, excuse me. I'm a few away. Can we hit the magical 1K this episode? I'm gonna make a post after I do my intro and pass it off to Pong. I'm gonna make a post to see if we can hit the magical 1K today. Now, I'll say this, because audio listeners might not know. You might go to other channels and be like, man, who cares about the 1K, bro? Everybody got 1K, bro. And I'm gonna tell you like this. 1K is a significant mark because me and Pong have done this completely organically, right? And I know that word has been kind of thrown around as far as business and game companies go, and whether Microsoft or Sony's created more of an organic business and gaming structure. But when I say organic here, I mean there's no paid viewers, there's no paid subs. Everything that is presented here has been brought to you by Pong and myself, right? 100% supported by us. So with that taken into consideration, it's just a big mark for me personally. And I know it means a lot to Pong too, but for me personally, it's just to imagine not having a show, then going from literally starting from zero, doing a show every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, and 3 p.m. UK time, kicking it to you guys live, raw, and uncut, giving you that RTS perspective. That's real-time strategy, where we pull yourself out of the world. We look at the darker crevices of the map. We pull those resources together so that we can build up our own foundation and potentially reach those 3 billion gamers. But it's also the home of that ECP, the educated consumer perspective. In case people don't know what that means, it's just when you take your years of professional experience, your years of personal experience, act like you've probably lived for whatever amount of time that you're currently have been alive for, age-wise, because for whatever reason, people feel like you just were birthed 10 years ago and your only information that you can have is from the last 5 years because that's when it only started mattering. I don't get that, but nonetheless, that's what ECP is about. Combining everything so that we can have an overall open discussion, and kind of elevate things from there. That's what Living Split Screen's about, man. And to see you guys come in week to week, again, we've had a high chat count, say right around 50 or so. They're locking with us week to week, and again, I imagine it like I just walked into a room full of 50 people and they're chopping it up like, yo, Paul, Steel, what's good? What's going on? And that's just a wonderful feeling for me. That warms my heart. That gets me excited to do this every Saturday morning. Pong, I don't know if you feel necessarily the same way. And I was able to finagle some intro in there, along with some love and caring things. This is I do, along with just feeling like a wrestling announcer this morning. I don't know what's going on. I got a lot of like raw and uncut energy flowing.
Been a lot of sappiness this morning so far.
A lot of sappiness. Maybe it's Elden Ring. Elden Ring's making me feel sappy because it was a pretty sappy story. Great game. But nonetheless, Pong, my brother from another. Do you feel the same way? Are you the uncanny gentleman? Are you the X-Men that is not Cyclops? He's not Iceman either. But he did get Jean Grey last night. I saw him, guys. You guys better be careful out there. Yeah, but are you the brother from another? The one and only? Pong Soul? And do you support everything that we do here at Living Split Screen?
No, I quit. I quit. It's over. Everything you just said makes 0 sense, Steel, and I'm out of here.
Perfect.
Right? Right. It goes against all my philosophy.
Damn it.
So
we talked about these things.
Listen, y'all, happy Saturday morning. Again, happy 4th of July weekend. If you are celebrating, if you are in the U.S., I know it's on Tuesday. It's one of those weird kind of years where there is a day in between where you might have to work. Some of us are taking the extra day off. But again, what a weekend yet again to be back here with my brother from another, Steel Rain, to do this with all of you. My favorite place to be on Saturday mornings, the way that I love ever since I started doing this, to start my Saturday morning when we don't do it, which is rare. When we do have to miss a show, it feels like my whole day's thrown off now because this has become a part of my routine. But absolutely love being here, Steele. What a week, man. Another huge, gigantic week with this FTC versus Microsoft stuff, which we are obviously going to get into. This is changing the landscape of the video game industry one way or another, and we might have a final answer next week. If you're sick and tired of this, you better hope that the injunction is not granted, because I think that means a swifter ending. And we're going to get into that, because if that PI is put in place and Microsoft decides to go all the way and fight this and not give up the deal, we're talking another year or two. So, you know what? Pray for the PI to be turned down by the judge, but we will talk about that shortly. But yeah, no, gaming wise, early this week, Steel, first couple days, a few days, you and I were rocking out in Diablo 4 every single night. This week, yeah. So Diablo 4 has been it for me up to that point. The week got really busy at work. This has been an extremely long week, capped off by an 11-hour day yesterday. At which point last night after Xbox Ultimate, I even said, I'm not going to be on. I'm not going to be on, brothers. And I wasn't. I needed to relax because, man, what a week. But I did, outside of Diablo 4 on Thursday night, Thursday night, I can't remember. I did actually jump into both Fist and Bramble, which dropped into Game Pass. Two new games. Yeah, I talked about this a little bit on PM and the PM. Excellent additions to Game Pass. Of course, Fist, if you guys don't remember, is the rabbit with the big giant robotic arm. That was an indie title that came out on PlayStation last year. Really cool looking game. It is a platformer, kind of Metroidvania as well. Not, I don't play those a lot anymore. In fact, I do avoid them on a regular basis just because I'm burnt out. I did platforming my whole entire younger life. Like, we got a ton of platformers back in the day. So for me, I don't really like going back to them anymore. But I had to try out Fist because I thought the concept was so cool. And I was right. It's a very, very good game for about the hour I put into it. I put about an hour into each one of these so far. But for the first hour of this, I was actually having a really good time. The fighting mechanics are really well done. They're not overly complex. It's your typical, X or Y. Okay. And then you can jump and hit those buttons, and then you can power up and get combos like XXX or XXY. There's combos involved. But the story and the characters in there are pretty damn cool. It's nothing groundbreaking by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just really well done. And everything, movement-wise, it feels good. They've got dash, they've got in-air dash, they got all the kind of stuff. You get the ability to where you can slide on walls, and you can kind of do that kind of stuff. Right. So I like it. And I was having a really good time with it. So that was Fist. And then I jumped into Bramble. And I've seen more and more people that are checking this game out really start posting about this game, and I understand why. When I saw this game, they promoted it heavily on Twitter. Bramble was always in my feed, and I kept looking at it going, God, this game looks really, really cool. It's kind of got that, inside flavor to it, where you're not, there's no really attack. You're jumping and running away from things and that kind of stuff and trying to survive. And I just thought the graphics were really cool from everything I was seeing. Well, I jumped into this game, and I said this the other night at PM and the PM. They did an absolutely phenomenal job of making you feel like you've been dropped into a fairy tale world. Like, legit. Like, straight out of a book. Like, that's how it feels. And it's not that these graphics are like so over the top, just set the bar in any way, but it's how they did it, the direction of the game and how they actually used, focus, right? And field of view and all that kind of stuff makes you feel like you are in a storybook. And it switches camera perspective. Sometimes you're in a 2D perspective. Sometimes you're in a 3D perspective. It just is so damn cool, Seal. Like I've met some gnomes now.
Okay.
I've seen I've seen the main monster that you're up against.
Doesn't it have a horror factor to it though? I thought.
Kind of. It gets
Okay,
dark.
it's not that
right?
bad?
It turns dark. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not like that. So far,
Okay, okay.
no. It's not like that. No. Think about fairy tales. Think about the darker fairy tales, right? It's not so much horror. It's kind of a more of a dread feeling, like you're going someplace darker. Like it turns from like, hey, I'm meeting these little gnomes.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing like fairies and they're flying,
So it's kind of progressive more so. It's not just all of a sudden there's a fucking monster on top. Okay.
No. It's not like that so far at all. I got to see the Frog King, right, with the crown on his head. Like all of this stuff is ripped straight from books and fairy tales. And absolutely, they nailed it, Steel. So I recommend anybody downloading and just trying it out. The intro, obviously, you start in the kind of real world, and all that kind of stuff. They got that whole story. I'm not going to do any spoilers for anybody who does want to try it, but they've got that intro to it, and then you're just dropped into this world, but it's mesmerizing. It's just so damn cool looking. You got to try it for yourself. I would recommend it. It's in Game Pass. Obviously, no risk to you just to check it out and see if it's something you're interested in. But I've seen more and more people trying it and going, oh, listen, this game is really good. It is. So far, so good. This is one I'm definitely going to keep playing for sure. So that's pretty much what I did. I think I did fool around a little bit with Need for Speed Underground. Of course, I played through the 10-hour trial. I had it downloaded when it became available because I did do the 10-hour trial and I waited it out. I didn't get into the FOMO.
It worked out
I
for
held
you.
out. It did. And I like some of the changes they made so far. I can tell they made some changes in there and having a good time with Need for Speed Underground. Does it capture the old Need for Speed? No, it still doesn't for me. I talked about this when I was playing the 10-hour trial.
Why so serious?
Need for Speed Unbound. Yeah, sorry. Need for Speed Unbound. Apologize. It still doesn't capture the old feeling per se of the driving.
Okay.
But is this probably the best one that I've played? Yeah. In a long time. It's probably the best one I've played in a long time.
Feels good.
I really do. It feels good.
They got cops online now.
Good.
I've been thinking about going back, and I've been fighting it. I'm just really I'm in that motorsport zone right now, man. Yeah. I don't want to play Assetto. I don't want to play any of that older shit. Because I know people say, "Oh, why don't you go play these games?" Fucking games are old, bro. Like I want to play the new motorsport. I just heard the dude talk about because he was talking about how the tires and the contact points and everything that they've added. They have the most complex tire model ever existed, and they think that they have something that can really compete against every other racing sim. They think they have something this time around with Forza Motorsport that is really going to help redefine the Sims genre. But we'll see, right? Because that's something that Forza has always kind of fought against, right? Forza's been good, but apparently Forza hasn't been good enough for sim racers. We'll see if that turns around this time. Forza's doing a lot. It gets me interested to hear that because that means there is going to be more of that feeling on track that I look for. Like, I like the feeling of your car feeling different as those tires warm up. Your car feeling like you learning how to feather the gas and you learning how the brakes work on your car. That was such a unique thing that Forza did, just giving you more of that in-depth analysis about how your car kind of reacts on the track and everything that you do. And it's just going to be super dope to see, man. I think it's going to lead up to so many great races to be had. I'm going to be in there full time. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Between Armored Core 6, Starfield, and then Forza Motorsport, I got 3 games that literally I don't have to play nothing else for the rest of the year and I'll be perfectly fine.
Right?
Is that going to happen? Probably not. But those 3 games are like my most excited games of this year right now. Atlas Fallen is in there too. It's like, bro, that's a co-op experience. So it's like I want to jump in there and have a really good time. I want to beat that because it's also like it has a lot of elements that I'm into, customization, the sand, the combat. That's things that speak to me, man. Nothing speaks to me more than Armored Core right now. But nonetheless, my fault, Paul. Was that pretty much wrapped up your week?
That's pretty much it. The other thing still interesting.
Yeah.
For me, now that I've got a PC.
Yeah.
Is I checked out the Steam summer sale.
Right.
Yo. having access to this many games on
Yeah.
one machine is mind-boggling.
Yep.
Because I'm going through the Steam sale, and
There's a lot.
of course, I'm budget gamer. For those who don't know, I also had a semi-rough week because I had some car issues, both mine and the wives. So the wives, like I've got multiple wives. I'm not living in Utah. I'm not Mormon. Listen, so we both had car problems this week, which actually killed off my ability to go get the Starfield Collector's Edition at all. But so I'm a budget gamer, so I was like, oh yeah, I can hop into the Steam summer sale now. Like, this is something I've never really looked at because I never had a PC, so I always avoided it because I didn't want to see the deals. But still, my nostalgia factor is in full swing, brother. So I'm not looking at the new. Well, I am looking at the new games, right, just to see what's out there.
Right.
See if I can get some deals, right? But I'm going through, and I'm like seeing all these games at like $2.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, I don't need these because I've already got too much to play.
Right.
But because they're older games, some of them I haven't played in decades, right? Some of them I never had the chance to play because I didn't own a PC. I was, I went over to my buddy's house, and so whatever he had, I played, right? But I'm like looking at these games, and I'm like, $2.50. I can get like 10 of these for $20, right? $25. Like I can get all these. So my cart right now, Steel, is ridiculous. And I'm gonna have to go and decide what I want. But you guys might be hearing about some older games. In fact, Stalker is now in my cart, which I haven't played since like it originally came out. And that kind of stuff. But that Steam Summer Sale is something else, Steel. And again, all these RTS games that I never got to play from back in the day. I'm just in heaven right now, I gotta say. Plus some new ones are in there. I actually do have, and I don't know, Steel, we kind of talked about it behind the scenes, but I'm thinking I might jump in to Starship Troopers Extermination. I think I might jump into that. It's $20 on Steam sale right now. I think I want to check that out. So I think I'm going to do that as well. But we'll see. We'll see what I wind up with. But you guys might be hearing about some older games coming up.
I mean, if you end up getting Starship Troopers, let me know. For $20, it's not too bad of a price for that game. Especially for some dumb fun, right?
Dumb co-op fun.
I can spend $20 on a lot worse things for some dumb fun, but. I think that'll be pretty dope to do. If you do end up doing.
Yes, I will. Yeah, Tom from Toonami, Chaos Gate, I believe, is already in my cart, by the way, brother. Yes, that's not a problem.
Y'all are stupid. There are people in the chat. Horde of whores!
Horde of whores.
Jesse B says, one wife, so is plenty. If you got more, you're crazy. Hey, some people are able to handle that, right? Some people live that poly lifestyle. They handle a couple of them. I just think it's funny when people expect for their woman to continue to do fun things with women, and then when she wants to do a fun thing with another guy, now it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work that way, guys. I just
was that based on the clip that you saw there, Steel? By the way, I
don't know what clip you're speaking on. But there was another podcast that I was listening to this week where they were talking about that. Okay. So that's why I was bringing it up, because it's always crazy to see like how people. And this isn't the relationship podcast, but we go out of nowhere. But it's just crazy when you see just the backhanded nature of some folks, right? And again, toxic masculinity, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. You just can't expect for you to do things to your significant other. There's somebody that you're supposed to care for, right? For an example. Or you do things with them, and then when they want to do the same thing but their way, it's a problem now. It's just so weird. I don't know. People are strange.
Mav, careful. You better hope Caitlin better not pop in here.
Some people are about that. I'll say this and I'll leave it alone. And if this is your kink, I don't kink shame. So it is what it is. Hey, if you're a cuck, hey, you do your thing, man.
Whoa.
If you do your thing. If you're down for that.
Where is this going on Living Split Screen this Saturday morning, Mike?
There was if it's the clip that you're talking about with the what is that porn star with the porn star?
Yes, that's the one I was talking
That one is I think that's the one that actually started the conversation this week.
Okay, that's probably where it started. Yeah, because
which
I saw that
find
clip
absolutely hilarious. I find it absolutely hilarious because it's like, bro, it's like
two people in that industry. The fact that even he admitted that there was a little bit, I was like,
dog,
okay,
like, look at what type of work you do. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're in the industry, your wife's in the industry, and now all of a sudden you're gonna have a problem.
It's okay for her to be on you, but
yeah,
I mean, again, I feel you. I'm not about that shit either. Like, I'm not cool. That's not cool to me. I couldn't just let the homie be like, yo, hey man, she's really wanting to do this for a minute, man. Go ahead and you should go break it down, dog. No, man. Like, now, if I was in a situation to where I was out picking a different girl the other day or every other week, we're doing a podcast, literally beating down these girls, right? Together.
What the fuck is happening?
Then you know, things happen. A conversation. Anyway. I just wanted to have some fun before we get started. I wanted to have some fun there. Again, that's what makes Living Split Screen unique. We talk about a lot of things. Nick says, "Still, be careful. The missus is not behind you." Hey, look, man, Nick's. I'm in a very special situation that I don't have to worry about those things, right? Mm-hmm. Me and the wife can both have honest conversations with each other. We're not blind either. Like, I think that's the other thing as humans too, that we kind of forget at some point, or we get caught up in our own selfish shit. That at what point do you recognize you're still human? You're going to find other shit attractive. That doesn't mean that you want to walk down the street and literally beat down everything. No, that just, I don't know. You can say, hey, looks good, and then kind of leave it at that. Not everybody has that mental fortitude. So that's understandable. Right. But I'm very fortunate to be in a situation with somebody who I can literally call a best friend. Can they, can your significant other be annoying sometimes? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure both sides can feel that, right? But there's a lot of push and pull, tug, and whatnot. But let's get back into these games.
Because it's getting worse.
Yeah. Listen, you gotta get worse before you make it better. Nah, anyway. When we don't see Steel hosting next week, we know why. I'm gonna
do the attic time. Let's move on. Here,
Living split wide screen. No, anyway. But yeah. So for me this week, let's see. I've gotten into a multitude of different things, right? Diablo, of course, still has somewhat of a chokehold on me. It has quite loosened a bit.
Tug cast knobs.
Oh yeah, no, we're not doing the tug. We're not doing a tug cast. Oh my god. But no, Diablo 4 still has the grip on me, man. Pause. Yeah, it's. I do feel. It's a real interesting show today. We're getting it.
Shit.
But I'm at an interesting point with Diablo currently, where I don't know if it's more so probably just me. But I do have a thing about Diablo, and I want to get into this really quickly. I say quickly, but it is going to be a little side tangent because we don't have much of the of upcoming games to talk about. There's a couple, right? So it'll be kind of in and out. Then we'll get into our normal conversation. But real quick, I want to have a heart to heart about Diablo again. I had a heart to heart with the chat, with a party. With the guys and everything when I hit my wall when I was around 60s or whatever, level 60, 65 or so on my druid. When I was just felt like I felt like I wasn't progressing, I wasn't having fun, but I broke through that wall and again, things are back to normal. The thing that bothers me about Diablo, and this is also something that me and Paul have talked about in the background, I've also talked with other people about, right now is the end game. Right now is the PvP, right? Mainly because a lot of it feels half-assed, right? There is content for you to do at the end of the game. And again, I can also freely admit that I'm probably, me and the guys that I play with, right? We're probably in the 5 to 10% of gamers that are going to be ever where they're going to be at in tier 4, as far as Diablo goes, right? There's not many people that take it and really, take off with it. But I do think it's okay to still be objective and look at what the game is giving you, at totality standpoint, right? Because even when you hit level 60, Even after you beat the game and after you hit a certain level, it becomes very obvious that you have to do nightmare dungeons to progress, right? That's how you're going to get the best gear. That's how you're going to get more money, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on and on, which is fine. But I would personally think if I playtested the game, or if I created this game, that after a certain point, like when you're doing tier 40 plus nightmare dungeons, that you add an additional benefit or something. Maybe you do it at tier 50, something like that, an additional benefit for you to continue to do that content. Now, again, don't ever forget what the purpose of games are, right? It's a hobby, you're supposed to have fun. It's the whole thing is you're supposed to enjoy yourself. But there is another level of the conversation, at least to me, when as a game developer, you seem to not learn from others in your same genre, right? Whether that's Lost Ark, whether that's Path of Exile, whatever the case may be. But you're offering a very, at least upfront, and again, season 1 may change some things. I don't know how much they're going to change. We'll get into, I think they'll talk this week about what's expected to come part of season 1, or whatever their roadmap is for that, and the changes and everything. They've already made some changes. I think the overall point that I'm trying to make is that I am kind of at a stale point, right? There's not necessarily, sure, I could go do harder content, but it does become, at what point do you say for what, right? I'm just going to make my character stronger to do what? To fight Uber Lilith, to fight, to do what? Just to do harder content, I'm not getting better gear, quote unquote, because it's not like you get to tier 50 and then it unlocks like item power 1000. It doesn't do that. Now, if it did, I think that would be very interesting and intriguing and would give people a continuous reason to power up, right? Maybe even raise the level cap at a certain point. Like, yeah, you get to tier 50, now here's 10 more levels or whichever. It's just weird because this Diablo has always been a game that is more so focused around its end game, right? Because once you beat that story for that first time, the people who are coming back to play the seasons have already beat the story, so you're not going to keep them there for that. So what is Diablo going to do in its first season to say, hey, these are the things that we're doing differently or we're adding on to give you a more enhanced experience compared to what we have right now? It's just a really weird place, especially with the game have only been out for, it's going to be out for about a month at that point, with the new DLC, about a month and a half, I'll say, by the time the season 1 starts. But the other half that also bothers me, because it could be alleviated if this was working properly, it wasn't so one-sided, is PvP. PvP is a complete shit show. It's exactly how it's always been in Diablo in some ways. And some people say, well, that's just been that way and you got to get used to it. No, man, that is a terrible mentality to have about this shit. There's no reason why PvP can't be balanced out. It feels like, to me, this is another example of you not putting any effort towards it and just putting it in the game for it to be there. Because it's not fun to play. Unless you're a higher level character beating up on people who are lower level than you, it's not fun. If you're fighting somebody at the same level, if they're a barbarian, it's not fun. They sit there, do the whirlwind in the same place over and over again, take no damage, never lose life, nothing. You don't affect them the same way that you affect these monsters. So where am I going to go to get an understanding of what a PvP build would look like? Where can I practice these things? You want me to go out into the fields of hate to deal with these people who are level 100 and griefing folks, one-hitting them? Again, we're not even having a battle. It's just a one-hit. That's not fun. That's not a fun mechanic. I don't know like who thought this would be great. Yeah, it's not going to be balanced at all. We're not going to put you in a different, I don't want to say time zone. We're not going to put you in like a different server and level everything out so you guys can have a good fight and it can feel fun. It feels tacked on. It feels like an afterthought. It feels like oh yeah, this is here just to be here kind of thing. And it's just not fun for me. I was also hoping that Diablo would not only serve me on the PvE front, but also this would be the one to help to serve me on the PvP front. But again, That's a personal problem for me. So that's just kind of my feelings on Diablo currently. And again, I will admit that I am on a higher level. I can do tier 52s pretty much by myself. It is getting to a point to where I have to be more mindful about the nightmare dungeons that I do, because because resistances in the game right now feel irrelevant. That's the way they feel, right? There's no reason for, I'll give you guys this example and I'll move on from Diablo. Me and Jasper did a tier 50 nightmare dungeon, right? This is after we just got obliterated doing a tier 52. There's a certain type of enemy, more the humanoid type enemies, one of the bigger dudes. He has an attack that he does, it just does stupid amount of damage, right? We lost. We go back down, we do a 50, blow through it. Do a 51, blow through it. Do a different 52, blow through it. But it's so weird the amount of damage that you end up taking, even from enemies that are close to your same level. It's just, it makes the game feel like, it's like you have that in and out. It's like everybody feels like a glass cannon somewhat, right? Because I feel like I got a pretty strong build for my druid. And it is dumb strong. And I can tank a lot too. I can literally, I'm at a point right now where poison literally does fucking nothing to me. My whole bar could fill up with poison and my health would literally sit above that, right? Now, getting to the heart of content becomes a different story. Other things start affecting you, whichever. It's just, there's something about the damage that feels off, the resistances feel off, and it's just certain things in the game that I do hit. They said they are going to fix with season 1, but I think the resistances, they said they weren't going to be able to fix it till about season 2, which is it's just kind of like, so I got to wait another 90 days, and by that time, Starfield's out. By that time, Armor Core's out. By that time, these other games are out. And sure, you could say that, oh, well, Diablo's a game that you could come back to, have a fun time, and sure, great. I don't want to come back to Diablo 10 years later. I don't know what game is going to look like 10 years from now, right? This isn't Diablo 3. I don't know if Diablo has 10 years of playtime to be alive, depending on what type of titles come out. Because if an MMO comes out and it does something and it does Diablo better, who's going to be playing Diablo? So it's just like, for me, I just want them to get their roadmap together, to really get things on track, to make sure they get people engaged. But at the end of the day, I got my money's worth. Even if I didn't play the first season, I feel like I got well beyond my money's worth. I am going to play the first season, and I'm going to swap over to Rogue, just because I want to try something different, have some fun. Because again, from everything that I've seen, apparently Druid is the most difficult class to play in the game for whatever reason. Until you get to a later game, that's a weird thing to see and say. Again, I didn't have a terrible experience leveling up, but nonetheless. I did jump back also into Halo Infinite this week, just because so I can get a feel for it, see how things have changed and things have progressed. And Halo Infinite's feeling pretty good. Still some desync issues that just bother the fuck out of me. Being around corners and people still being able to tag you. But again, I can also admit, like, my gunplay isn't as on point as it was when I was playing Halo pretty consistently, right? So, I did get back into Platinum, 3 and 4 in both ranked playlists. So after not playing, Platinum is above Gold, but right under Onyx, which is high Platinum. So I think that's still pretty good. I can't be overly pessimistic about that. But and what else did I drop into this week? I did drop into back into Wolong. I kind of put Neo 2 down. It's something about, it's always difficult for me to jump into Souls games and there also be other games that I'm playing in rotation, because it does make it kind of difficult to go back sometimes. Unless it's like an Elden Ring, where it's like it's the Dark Souls formula. It doesn't change. It's always pretty much the same. Maybe there's some additional mechanics in there. And also Elden Ring I played nonstop, so that's kind of different too. Because I did make the statement before that, like, I understood why people called Wolong a Neo 2 ripoff or a fake Neo 3. I also understand that Wolong is still a great game on its own, in my personal opinion. As somebody that's completely beaten the game, I've also completely beat the first DLC. It wasn't like super long or anything, but man, was that last boss a fucking, god damn was he annoying. He's definitely like a Lubu part two in a lot of ways. He's not Lubu, but he's definitely got some challenge to it. But there's Wolong Team Ninja, the way that they were able to nail that deflecting system and making it part of your dodge mechanic, it just feels so heavenly, bro. Like when you go to dodge, it's just ding, ding, and then you break their stamina, you rush up on them and stab them, do the crazy. It just feels godly, bro. Like, and I think I think I'm going to pick back up Wolong, especially with it being the newer game, instead of jumping back into Neo 2 for that game. I'm at least going to go through my second playthrough of it on the harder difficulty to see where I can get my gear at. And I just because that deflection system, there's nothing like it. I know Sekiro has something that's very similar. It's not as forgiving, right? In Sekiro, I did play, I put about 10 hours in, and I haven't been back to. Another game that I did mod out, made feel real good, but I just haven't been back to. But Wolong is great. The DLC I would definitely recommend. Again, Wolong was good enough to me when I played it originally that I bought the season pass off rip when I beat the game. So if that doesn't tell you enough about how I feel about the game personally, then I don't know what does. Again, there's very seldom where games do that, right? Unless it's like a Forza Horizon situation where the game's already coming in the part of the service. So it's like $30 for the season pass. Why not, right? I'm probably going to continue to play this game, so I might as well invest. Wolong, I mean, it came in the Game Pass. I didn't have to pay a dime for it. I got the season pass, like $25. And every little bit and every bit was worth it, man. First DLC was great. Can't wait to get in there and kind of fine tune some things. But that's been me mostly this week, man. I did jump into another game that I can't quite talk about this week. It does involve The Division. I can say that. Can't say much else. But I will say this. Since I'm not going to say what the game is, I think I can give a little bit of a subjective opinion. And you guys take this with a grain of salt. I under NDA, cannot tell you what the game is. I can tell you what it's related to. I can't tell you what the game is. You do the research on your own to figure out. The game that I played felt good, but it also felt different for no reason. There's mechanics they changed up. There's certain things they changed about the gameplay loop, or how like the game plays, that I feel like were completely unnecessary. Like they changed some of the, let's say, movement mechanics, right? You have like a dedicated crouch button,
right?
You don't click on the walls like you used to, like where you press A to get into a wall. Don't do that. You just walk up on it. Okay. Which is okay, but it's just weird when you already have a game where the mechanics were just fine. Why did you change it for this?
Right.
But anyway, so that was weird. But the other thing too is, no, not Final Fantasy 7. The Division 3, maybe. But no. I think for me though, the main thing that sticks out is there's something, and I'm trying to be as coded as possible with it. There's something in the in-between gameplay loop that is missing.
Okay.
That the current Division also has a problem with, but not in the same way, because this one is trying to be more survival based. I also don't get some of the underlying mechanics that they're trying to go for because it's not fun. Doesn't make the experience fun. That's all that I'm going to say about it. It's not terrible. It has some potential. But I feel like I say that about every one of these games.
Right.
Oh, it has potential. I still think that out of all the games that I've played recently in beta, I still think that Wayfinder is probably the best feeling one. Not even gonna lie to you guys. Unfortunately, that's not coming to Xbox, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's crazy to see when you already have an established IP that is doing something really well. If you're taking some of that, putting it in something different trying to call it something a little bit different, and you still don't understand what made your game great. Sure. Especially on the PvP side of things. Like that part of it feels much better because it feels even, right? It's not, oh, you've grinded for 1,000 hours and you obviously have better gear than I do. No, it feels very even. Like you could jump in and have a good time on a weekend, got off of work, you want to jump in for an hour. It does feel like that part of it could be fun. It's also lacking people to run into, right? For that to be one of the main mechanics is, I don't know. It's really strange right now. We'll see how things play out. This is supposed to be one of their more so betas before the final release, from my understanding. We'll see. They may do an open beta so people can test it out themselves. I just feel like there are some huge things missing that make the experience not fun, but that's all that I'm going to say about it. Again, can't speak on directly what that game is. Can say what it's in relation to, but that's about it. So take it for what. Well, other than that, yeah, it's been pretty much it for me this week. Yeah, so games, and more games. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our upcoming games segment.
Nope.
We got at least two.
There's only one game this week.
There's one?
Yeah.
We got two.
Okay, fine. Two. Okay, fine. Two. That's it. I was trying to look for Xbox Wire. Anything new there? There's nothing there. Twitter's broken.
Really?
So I can't find anything. Yeah, Twitter's completely broken. So I can't do anything there. So yeah, we do have two this week. So yes, let's do this real quick. First of all, I want to shout out the chat as always. Brother from another Psychonauts is in the house. Of course, the one, the only, the other brother from another Fun Speculation, aka Mav, joining us this morning. Nam Omar is in the house. What's going on, brother? We got Tim the Sorcerer is in here casting his magic. What's going on? Jacob Novik is in here. What's going on, brother? Jesse B is dropping on by to say hi. What's going on, Jesse B? Who else we got in here? We got South Mole. What's going on, South Mole? Great to have you a part of the show. We got the Hooded Canuck. What's going on? Hooded, love to see you, man. Great to have you in here. It's Timmy. Timmy's in the house. What's going on? It's Timmy. Always good to see you. Nix is in here, the one and only Nix. What's going on, OG? We got the legend himself, Dragonheart Yobi up in here. As always, we got M. Gene dropping on in here. Ooh. We got Why So Serious as always dropping on by, and I just lost. There we go. We got Talos Ray, the one and only, is in the house. What's going on, Talos? We got Doc 50 in here. What's going on, Doc? Hope you're having a great start to your Saturday. We got the brother from another 3-bit, the developer extraordinaire in the house. He's been doing some animation work behind the scenes. He gave us a little clip looking pretty damn cool there, 3-bit. Who else we got in here? We got Blue Moon FC. What is going on, man? Who else? We got Decato's in the house, of course. Decato's in here. We got Tom from Toonami always dropping in to say hi. What's going on, Tom? Who else? Let's see if I missed anybody. Man, we had a lot of people talking about our crazy wives situation. There. Crazy Greek Dude is in the house. What's going on, Crazy Greek Dude? Great to see you in here, as always. And let me see if I got anybody else that's dropping in here. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, let me know. Casket Repair dropped in here very early. What's going on, Casket? Always great to see your name, sir. Ghost Fixtures in the house. What's going on, Ghost? I see you dropping on in here. Listen, everybody that's out there listening, whether you're lurking, doing Saturday morning chores or Saturday afternoon chores, depending on where you are, we love you. So thank you for dropping on in here and saying hi. Let's see here, Steele. So our two big games, upcoming games of the week here. Let me bring those up.
Tell them. The people are excited. This is probably the most anticipated game.
It's not the most anticipated game, Steele. No, it's not. It's not, sir.
I tried.
It's not. All right, let me get this timestamp real quick too. Hold on for a second here.
Doc Big Stuffins.
What do you got for a timestamp? You got 104, 103 something?
I mean, it depends. According to OBS, we're at 105.13, 105.15.
Okay. Really? YouTube is way behind today. All right. This weekend, this upcoming games. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. So we've got two of them. We got GYLT. I don't know if they pronounce this Guilt.
I'd imagine it would. It
or if
looks
they
like
actually, that's what it looks like.
way that
So
it's
Guilt
set up.
This was a Stadia exclusive, everybody. So this came out November 19th, 2019. So nearly 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago on Stadia. It's from Tequila Works, published by Tequila Works. So this is one of those Stadia games. Now that Stadia is donezo, we're going to be seeing some of these exclusives they had come on over. So it's dropping on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC this week on July the 6th. June. No, we're in July. Still, we are 6 months away from Christmas. Can you believe that?
Hey, man, my birthday's at the end of the month.
I know, man. I know. I got my kiddo's birthday this month. Got my dad's birthday this month. I got my niece's birthday this month. We got a lot of birthdays this month. So yeah, Guilt, June or July. I did it again. My God, July the 6th, coming out this week, and it is an adventure game. So go check that out. And then we've also got The Legend of Heroes, Trails into Reverie. This is obviously, I believe, yes, it is a part of the Trails series. They have so many different spin-offs, so many different things that they do with this. But The Legend of Heroes, Trails into Reverie, coming out on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. Again, this is published by NIS. America, NIS is one of the companies that is very resistant to putting their games on Xbox, unfortunately. Developed by Falcom. This is coming out July the 7th. Obviously, a role-playing game for anybody who knows the Trails series. Always have a really good shot at getting a good game out of this series. It's just consistent, nonstop. So if you're a Trails fan and you're on anything other than the Xbox, you can go pick this one up, which is sad to say. But July 7th, that is your big week of gaming. So 2 games this week. Jeez, oh man.
It was a lot coming out this week. A lot of heat up there.
Doldrums of summer still, I guess. There is still some dead times in the summer. We're almost year round now where there's always something coming out, but we do have those weeks still where there's not much. So
of course. I mean, in August is right around the corner, right? That's when it kind of picks back up because there's some heavy hitters coming out in August. Right. So, I mean, again, there is some things coming in towards the end of July, like Exo Primal and things like that. Again, Nick, if I don't see you on Exo Primal, I'm going to throw hands with you. As much as you've been talking about Exo Primal, watch Nix get on day one and then not ever play it again. Shout out to you, Nix. I'm gonna call you out on Twitter. But nah, I gotta join the crew, Nix. Everybody else hates you, but you're loved here.
Whoa, so no, everybody loves Nix.
Yeah, they call him the fanboy. It's all good, Nix. They don't understand you. It's all good.
All right.
Look at that connection. Just jumping all over the place. All right.
Yeah, you got some connection jumping?
No, we're good now. Right. It evened out for whatever reason. I don't know what that was about. But anyway.
Who knows?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So where do we take this beautiful thing from here? As Nick said what I do. Hey, man, people don't like your controversial takes.
Nick's is a pot stirrer. That's okay. That's nothing wrong with that.
You be pot stirring that pot, and they be wanting to. They're quick to jump in.
He likes to have conversations. Nothing wrong with that. Period.
No, he does, and that's always a beautiful thing to say. Enjoyed the crew Xboxes live. But all right. So I think we should start off with a little bit of a smaller topic here, because I did see that be brought up this week, and a lot of people went into a panic and a tizzy, and we're like, oh my God, Starfield is going to be even worse now. And that is the announcement of AMD is the exclusive partner for Starfield on PC. What does that mean, Pong? Does that mean that DLSS will not be in existence day one on PC?
Certainly sounds like it, huh, Steel? You know more about the PC side than I do, but I've certainly seen plenty of posts saying, well, if they're going to go this route, then there's a couple modders out there guaranteeing that they will have DLSS up and running within the first couple days, right? They're going to get it done. There's people upset about this, obviously. Like I said, new to the PC space here, so I don't have a whole lot to say other than I think it's kind of weird a little bit. as PC is kind of open platform, that you partner up with either AMD or Nvidia and not support the other one. Like, that's a little strange to me to have that kind of exclusivity for a game. Like, I mean,
AMD probably paid ducats for it.
That's what I'm saying. Business is business at the end of the day, but I still think it is odd, and I still think it feels wrong a little bit to do that. Now, I've played some games where AMD hasn't been supported, right? Steele and I have figured that out as I've been on with him. He's obviously got the NVIDIA card. I've got the AMD card, and looking for some options, and there wasn't any options, and that was Redfall, right? Redfall. Yeah. Redfall was one of the games where it wasn't fully supported, with my AMD stuff. I couldn't get all the options that Steel had. So I understand that it happens. It's just weird to come out and announce exclusivity. But, obviously me running my XTX card, I'm
full. Okay. You're full AMD anyway. So.
I'm full AMD, so okay. Fine for me. I know I'm going to get the performance. It's just weird. With a game as big as Starfield, I just didn't think, it's strange that Bethesda would choose to do this and exclude, obviously, the other side out of getting the max performance or all the performance options to go this route. But like you said, Steel, money talks, bullshit walks. It just seems like they upset a lot of people, but the modding community seems ready to take care of business if they have to. So I don't know, Steel, you probably got more to say about this than I do.
Yeah, I'm definitely have a couple minds. I mean, if they do 100% go, oh well, this is going to be AMD exclusive. We're only going to offer FSR 2.0, whatever the case, day one. I mean, I guess they have every right to do that. It's just interesting to see AMD play those cards because I hadn't seen AMD or Nvidia choose certain games to kind of, because the reason they do that is because AMD is in a really interesting situation, and they've always been kind of in this spot where they have always been the more consumer friendly or consumer focused brand, mainly because of price, right? And the issue with AMD previously was that AMD had a hard time keeping up with power and price. So typically, if you wanted both and for price per power, you'd want to go NVIDIA because they typically offered more. This could be a prime opportunity because AMD and NVIDIA are direct competitors with each other. Matter of fact, they're the only competitors in that space. So and AMD may be choosing Starfield to make a very aggressive approach on the hardware market, because right now, unlike previously, like 10 years ago, this wasn't as much of a conversation, and it has changed. But with Ryzen's new set of processors that they've put out since the beginning, because I walked into with the 1000 series AMD Ryzen CPUs, and I've been with them ever since. But their processors are literally price to performance, are on a much grander scale than an Intel processor will ever be, right? You're going to typically pay anywhere between $200 to $500, depending on the market, more for an Intel processor versus a Ryzen processor. So they have a lot of things that are working in their favor, and they're also getting to a point to where they're matching that performance on that chip versus what Intel's doing, or has been doing on their chip. So there's been a lot of versatility. So kind of what we've been seeing like with Xbox and PlayStation, you're now seeing with AMD and NVIDIA once again, in conversation, and that form of competition hasn't really existed on that standpoint. Like, of course, it always goes back and forth, more so between them. Doesn't go necessarily back and forth as far as the consumers go, not like PlayStation or Xbox per se. But AMD is also in the current consoles, right? So it's it's a double facet. If they are able to, if Starfield is maybe this is AMD saying that, hey, we see the potential in Starfield. Maybe this is them also saying that, man, we know the type of game that Starfield is. Look at Skyrim, right? Look at Todd Howard. Look who's behind it. Maybe this is the higher up saying, look, we got to get behind this game so people know that, oh, no, you need to go get that Radeon. Oh, no, you need to go get this Ryzen. These are the things that you need. Oh, and then you start seeing videos of people putting out there like, oh, didn't you know that the Ryzen CPU and the graphics card work in tandem with each other and you'll get 10 times the performance? I mean, that's not true per se, but but you'll get more performance if you keep on brand and things that it could just be a marketing play for a lot of things. But like you stated, the modders are going to definitely, if you got FSR in there, you can get DLSS in there. There's literally no reason other than it being a marketing thing for AMD. And because right. AMD is what the consoles use also, it makes sense that Xbox allowed this to happen. Xbox also has deals behind the scenes with AMD that are deeper than just them making hardware and whatnot. So it's like multifaceted thing. This is kind of like the Epic situation back in the day. Gears of War helped Epic step out beyond what they were known for, right? I mean, of course, you had Unreal Tournament, you had Bloodstorm, you had other games that kind of spoke for themselves, but it never took them to that next level. Gears did, right? Starfield could be the game that helps AMD step out more into the market and just give us more competition and more price fluctuations, and continue. As long as we continue to see the price of computer parts going down, I think it'll be better for the community, because more people would have a chance to get involved. People aren't getting thrashed all over the place as far as prices go. But yeah, man, I don't think it's an overly big deal. Again, if you have, this is a big deal if you're an NVIDIA user using an RTX card, and you maybe be using one of the lower cars like a 3050, 3060, 2070s, things to that nature, because those DLSS really comes in handy with those, right? Because you get that extra performance, not having to sacrifice too much that you can actually notice. So the lower end folks may end up having some complaints because of that. But just because you have a NVIDIA card doesn't mean you can't use FSR, right?
Right.
Right. It's just about how they program it. I've seen FSR work in some facets. I don't use it. I'll use DLSS because 90% of the time it works better than FSR has. But FSR 2.0 has advanced forward too. So there's that part of the conversation to consider also. I think this is kind of a nothing burger, but.
Yeah, we should mention too. They also said that it's going to help the console versions for Xbox.
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%.
They are working on it, getting FSR 2.0 and available for the consoles as well. So that is a big boon for Xbox overall, right? Which you could say, well, that they're already partners with AMD. Of course, they're going to work on that. But having this specifically where they, AMD engineers and Xbox engineers are both working on it together to make this happen can mean nothing but better things for the console versions of Starfield. So there is that bonus as well with this deal. So just interesting, like you said, Steele, that a big game, one of the biggest games of the year, is in fact partnered here with AMD to do this. So just like you said, it could definitely help AMD, but it's already made some Bethesda fans mad. So because so many people do use NVIDIA. So just a little strange. It
is a little strange. Again, it's not as, I feel like people are really kind of overreacting about it. Again, we'll see. I mean, again, Bethesda has to do a lot to prove with this one, right? They also seem to show some more new gameplay that we didn't see from previously, from what I could tell. AMD showed, they showed them fighting a couple different other enemies. I showed that on stream for you guys here also, so you could have that representation. But yeah, man, it's a little thing. I don't think it's going to be necessarily anything to get over the top about. Again, hard. It's that's what's in the consoles. It makes sense. AMD is trying to move forward on their end of things to be more competitive in the market. So there's that.
Yeah, Tim. It might have been able to help with PS5, but oh wait, you're right. It's not going to be there. It's not going to be there.
All right. Let's see here. I see that you posted here that Sony's deal for Call of Duty only included one more game. I do feel as though that adds to what you've brought up here before, as far as them having one more game that they need to do to fulfill their contract. And if this is very well the case, then so be it. So this is coming from insidergaming.com. Let me go ahead and see if
shout out to Tom Henderson and the crew over at Insider Gaming. Love what they do. Not everybody does, but I do. I appreciate that.
Yeah, they're not bad. I don't let me see. getting a few things pulled up. I want to make sure I get this pulled up on stream for you guys. We're trying to do a little bit better about that. All right, so here we go. So apparently, Sony's deal for Call of Duty only includes one more game. This article was written by Mike Straw. All right. It says when Call of Duty launches on PlayStation consoles later this year, it's going to be the last one, at least the last one of the current contract. As revealed from a poorly redacted document unsealed during the Microsoft versus FTC court case, Sony's current contract with Activision for Call of Duty ends in 2024. However, that contract doesn't include the 2024 Call of Duty game. The last game covered by the contract is a Call of Duty title to be released in late 2023, the document reads. Microsoft has offered Sony a 10-year contract for the franchise to remain on the platform should the acquisition go through. However, Sony rejected the offer. As part of the poorly redacted documents, it was revealed that Call of Duty has made over $27 billion in its lifetime. That is fucking crazy. One IP, $27 billion.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. In addition to that, it has claimed that Call of Duty has somewhere between 7 to 10 million active users. It's actually a lot lower than what I was expecting, but it's also very high. It's also like extremely high. 7 to 10 million active users. That is fucking crazy.
YouTube is buffering, by the way, on and off, Seal, just so you know.
Is it?
Yeah, the stream is. It's buffering like once every like 3 to 5 seconds. It buffers and then comes back. So, yep, just a little choppy.
Little
action right now.
Little
yeah, a little chop. The waves are choppy out there, folks.
Little chop going on. All right. Let me see if we can alleviate a little chop here. Let's pull out this. Gotta get rid of a little chop. Sorry, audio listeners. Again, you'll never know what's going on live into things.
Right.
But we do have to address it live on the spot when we can.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it just started dropping out of nowhere. Always good to
Of course.
everything was going so smoothly. What's going on? Hopefully you guys can hear.
We lost the whole stream last night for Xbox Ultimate, so
You guys did. I saw that.
you were a part of it. So.
Yes, I saw that. Why So Serious says he recommends to refresh the page. So we'll see. I still do feel like it's Discord in some facets that causes this issue. I don't get why that would be the case. Again, change some things. Doesn't seem to do it with Zoom. I probably will call this kind of the last straw for Discord though. It's becoming kind of annoying, and I know it's not my internet. But nonetheless, we'll probably continue from Zoom on here on out, Pong, just so we.
Yeah, that's not a problem. You know, it's good for me.
It's just so. But anyway, get back on subject. As part of the poorly redacted documents, it was revealed that Call of Duty has made over $27 billion in its lifetime. In addition to that, it was claimed that Call of Duty has somewhere between 7 to 10 million active users. It's also claimed that about 1 million users spent 100% of their gaming time on Call of Duty in 2021. 1 million. 1%, literally. Damn near.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Despite the end of the contract, Activision says it plans to still bring the game to PlayStation with or without a new contract. Activision CEO Bobby Kotick said on Thursday that Call of Duty is a console exclusive because the company doesn't want to alienate 100 million monthly active players. Okay. And then they go on to say, what do you think of the fact that Sony's current deal for Call of Duty only includes one more game for later this year? And then they go into more insider gaming and so on and so on.
Yeah.
Check out Insider Gaming. Again, this article is written by Mike Straw. Pong, I mean, how do you feel? Again, I feel like that you have just been immortalized for this. But the Call of Duty contract seemingly only has one more game in it. Pong, I mean, you've been kind of hitting on this for quite some time. I mean, is this really to finalize that contract, Pong?
Yeah, I had speculated, me and others had speculated. We had talked about it here still. We talked about it on other shows, speculating because it was so strange that Activision Blizzard had announced that they were going to do a massive DLC for Modern Warfare 2, right? They had announced that they had this massive expansion plan in place for Modern Warfare 2 and that they weren't going to have a new Call of Duty until 2024, right? This was going to be the first time they've done this in a while. And that was the original plan. The ABK acquisition happens, right? It's announced. We kept, again, getting little tidbits about Call of Duty, whatever else, and the next thing you know, all of a sudden they're like, nope, we are going to have a actual full release for Call of Duty in 2023. And during this ABK acquisition, there had been a lot of talk about those marketing rights and what Sony had in place and what it was going to take. And we had some differing information. There was a lot of unknowns out there. Well, enter the FTC versus Microsoft case, enter documents being leaked and all this good stuff. And we find out that the marketing deal did in fact run through 2024, but it only included one more game. And so then when we had that word, we had started talking about it. And I said, isn't it interesting that the ABK deals is public, and all of a sudden Activision changes their tune? Wouldn't it be funny if they were, and wouldn't it make good business sense that if you're going to be now under Xbox, you want to get that deal over and done with? Let's just turn that DLC we planned for Modern Warfare 2 into a full game and complete that contract and wash our hands of it and be done with Sony completely, so that we don't have to honor a contract that we're owned by Xbox in 2024. We don't have to put out another game where Xbox owns us. It's got the Xbox logos all over it, but Sony's got the marketing rights, and so they get to promote it. Like, that'd be a strange scenario and situation. So I think it all lines up still. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe this is unrelated to that, but I gotta say, there's way too many dominoes lining up.
Yeah.
That this is what exactly happened. And Kotick and Activision made the call and said, no, let's get this done and over with. So when we join Xbox, we are free and clear. Even if the remaining portion of the contract runs through 2024, it'll be done. It'll be done. They won't have anything to promote in 2024 from us, and Microsoft can own us completely normal, free and clear. So I definitely think that's where this was, Steel. So kind of confirmation in my eyes of that.
Yeah, man. It's just, if this ends up being the way it's gonna be super dope for things, how things are gonna end up playing out, right? Where Sony can't really use that to their advantage anymore. It is going to see where the marketing rights go, of course. If the Activision deal goes through, which I still think that it will, I'm still at 90% on that. Then again, PlayStation will have to talk with Microsoft to see what kind of deal they can get figured out. And with everything going through, are the regulators going to ask Microsoft to still uphold that 10-year contract that they brought up before, right? To guarantee that Sony was going to, that Call of Duty is still going to be delivered on their platform, and in what facet, right? Is Sony still going to get exclusive content? Probably not. If that ends up going that way, but it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. Again, either way, I think Activision is putting themselves in a good position. It's still business as usual, right? No matter what, how you approach this, even if you're about to be bought.
Stream just ended, by the way, Steel.
It did it. That's nice.
Yep, it did. It was running smoother, and then now it's gone. So yeah, he's going.
Like it died, refresh.
It died.
Back to normal.
Hold on, let me refresh and see. Let me see. Oh yeah, we are back on, but our webcams now have not us. Just so you know, and it's got So
hey, it's got my Xbox in the background.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Okay, oh no, it's my gameplay because I recorded.
It's your game. Yeah. You. I was gonna say that'd be strange if all of a sudden it decided to start doing that.
Damn, where did my Xbox turn on? Yeah, connections all over the place, guys. Sorry. Again,
this happened on Xbox Ultimate last night, so whatever.
Please hit that refresh, man. If you guys are still locked in with us, please let me know. I'm trying to run. The only thing that I have running up in the background is Discord, and Discord is literally taking up a lot of my network all of a sudden for whatever reason. it's literally killing my network.
Yeah. Yep. I can see it because we're back to buffering again.
And I have no idea why. No idea why. It shouldn't be happening. Yeah, man, Paul. I mean, it's the same issue that we were having before.
Yeah.
Just stupid.
Unfortunately,
man.
it doesn't make any sense.
Last weekend we were able to ride, and it was just fucking shit was fine. And now this weekend,
yeah,
acting like fucking.
Gotta love technology, man. Gotta love technology.
Let me see here.
Sorry, y'all. Appreciate you all sticking around. If you have stuck around, if you haven't, totally understand why. It's annoying. Been in those chats. Unfortunately, technology, man, we have zero control over it sometimes. It is what it is. Like Steele said, it worked just fine last week.
Yeah,
Steele doesn't mess around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
fucking flawlessly. And I'm literally looking at it right now, and it's just, I don't know what makes Discord think that it can take up more bandwidth than OBS needs to. And I'm literally streaming from OBS. So it's like, I mean, I don't, maybe there's something like a Discord option that I can change or whatever that would help with that. I don't know. They say, oh, you use streamer mode, but streamer mode doesn't fucking do anything. I did that and it fucking still makes it work. So. Oh, we disappeared. Give me a second, guys. I had to restart my Discord. Okay, and for whatever reason, I can't hear Pong now. There's that. Did you mute yourself, Pong? No? I don't know why I can't hear you now. That's interesting.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, you muted yourself.
No, I didn't mute myself.
I saw you press that button.
No,
I saw you press the button.
No, I was wiping some dust off.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I was talking to the chat during that time too.
Perfect.
I don't know why it went to mute. Because I didn't touch it, Steele, because I was talking to you about the stream, and you heard me.
I didn't hear any. I had to close my Discord closed out, and I had to open it back.
Yeah, I know. I saw you do that.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying is, prior to that, I was talking to you, and I didn't hit my button. So that was really odd. Anyways, unless I did it unconsciously.
And the other frustrating thing too, it's like I have so much bandwidth that it shouldn't even be a problem.
Right.
That's the other thing. But this is the other thing. This from something that I've brought up previously, to where, right, we still have this problem with internet currently, to where I can have a gig download speed, and only have 30 megs upload,
right?
And that's just supposed to be standard.
Yeah, it's an issue.
Like literally, that is the standard for my provider. Literally tells me, "Oh yeah, 30s, you're good if you got 30." No. Oh man, that's high.
You need to open that shit up.
When you have a gig download speed, bro, that is so fucking. It just makes no, like I'm so raked over the coals for nothing, man. Fucking annoying. Sorry, I'm probably sound fucking ungrateful, but fucking annoying, bro. It's like you pay for top of the line service, you expect top of the line quality, and then fucking you go fucking to do a podcast that shouldn't be taking up that much bandwidth. You know,
everything is crispy now, Nick says. So
I bet it is. I bet it fucking is. I had to close Discord and bring it back up for it to fucking return to normal. It's so weird, man. Sorry, audio listeners. I know it's weird. We're ranting. It's frustrating when you're doing a show. It's, you know, you're on the road to 1K. You're 100 away from, you know, hitting that mark. You're trying to bring that energy for the people for their Saturday, get them going for their afternoon. And YouTube, Discord, everybody just gotta hate them. It's all good, Discord. I got a trick for you. I got a good trick for you, Discord. Don't you worry. This is all you had to show me. And I didn't even have to end the stream. I didn't have to end the stream cycle or anything. Yeah, I mean, we could blame Steel Novik. That's fine. I'll take it. Uh, Jesse says, first you forget to shout me out, and then you sabotage it, so I can't listen. Damn! What are you gonna do now? Look, Jesse, it's unintentional. The feds are trying to shut down the stream. That's very true. All right, get back on track. Although Discord is again eating up my bandwidth.
Yeah, just blame me, back. You're right. Just blame me. That's fine. It's all me.
Yeah, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Because my bandwidth is again being eaten up.
Well, I'm not seeing any buffering on YouTube.
And I would swap over. I would just swap over to Zoom and send out a link, but I have to go. I have to go pro for that. In order for us to be able to go for as long as we go.
There's a little buffer. We're buffering again. Okay. All right. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's good though. I see you out here. Jesse Darby, always great to see you, brother, as always. Decado, Jacob Novik, Nix, of course, brother from another Psychonauts, back from the dead. Tim the Sorcerer still hanging out with us. Andrew Cullinane, what's going on? Blue Moon FC, the Hooded Canuck, all you still hanging out with us. Talos Ray, appreciate you all hanging out with us. This is frustrating for us, and I apologize. It's not fun when you're trying to do a show and trying to get things done, but appreciate you all sticking it out with us, and hopefully we can get back on track here and finish out the show strong. And as Steele works on things behind the scenes and tries to get things leveled out, it throws him off, it throws us off, it throws you off, but we love you all. So Calorie, time to switch to Twitter. Twitter's broken too, Calorie, today. My God, it's been ugly. Yeah, why so serious? Yeah, we are still buffering. It's shitty. But you know what? I saw Wandering Dutch jump in here too. Shout out to Wandering Dutch, brother. Great to see you jump in here. Of course, you jump in here while we're having problems, but you are grinding it out on Diablo. I saw that, sir. So shout out to you for that endgame stuff. But we are going to try to get this fixed and hopefully level it out. M. Gene, great to see you as well. Gonna go as long as you're broadcasting. Appreciate that, Jesse B. Casket Repair says I moved down to 144p and it's smooth.
Oh my God, that's not the answer.
So the answer is, everybody, go to 144p, where we are a pixelated mess.
Downgrade your experience.
You can't even tell the difference between me and Steele at 144p.
We sure can't. Sure can't.
Oh, living the rich life, Steele.
Something.
It still buffers down here. It's still buffering for me down here. What a mess. What a mess.
Yeah, hold it down for me for a second, Paul. I'm trying to see if I can.
Yeah, no, I'm holding it down for you. But Call of Duty. This deal ending. Again, we've gotten so much information out of this court case. It's been crazy. This was like one of the middle kind of pieces of information we got out of this whole thing, but it does speak volumes to the confidence that ABK Activision had. Now, we did also hear, obviously, as well, that Bobby Kotick was trying to contact Jim. Jim wasn't taking his phone calls because Bobby was trying to cut a deal, and Jim mentioned this during the court case as well, that he believes that Bobby was trying to get a hold of PlayStation to cut a deal just in case the acquisition did not go through and it got blocked. So we know Bobby. Bobby's going to protect his ass. CYA is Bobby's middle name. And so he was definitely trying to cut another deal just as a safeguard, right? As a safety net for them if this deal did not go through. But the fact that they did decide to push out a full release for 2023 when that was not the plan at all, I mean, I feel for those devs first and foremost, because those devs are the ones that are gonna that have to take the brunt of this type of decision. Like, hey, we're working on DLC, everybody. So everybody's like, cool, we're working DLC. This is great. We're building this whole thing as a DLC. Yes, it's going to be a big DLC. It was going to be a major expansion, but that's how we're thinking of this. Now all of a sudden, Bobby makes a phone call and says, yeah, you know that DLC? You guys got like a year to turn that into a full release. What?
Yeah.
Excuse me? Yeah. You guys are gonna have to increase the production
All right.
because we need a full one.
All right, real quick, Pong. Ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a brief interruption here. I'm going to send you a link, Pong.
Okay.
Go ahead and join that, and we're going to end it. We're going to end Discord here. You'll still hear me, ladies and gentlemen, so it should be a brief pause while we come off screen. I'll still be here with you guys to rock and roll, but I'm going to send you an invite link right now, Pong.
So I should just exit out of Discord then?
Yeah, you can just exit out of it completely.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I'll be right back with you, ladies and gentlemen. You should still be able to hear me, as I am 100% through. Go ahead and just, I can open that back up and I'll change all that later. Because I'm going 100% through OBS. So give me a moment here. What I've done, I'm going back to Zoom. Because again, when we were running with Zoom, typically we weren't having these problems. Especially connection wise. I'm still seemingly getting some drops here for whatever reason. So we'll leave it at that. Let me see real quick. I'm gonna stop the gameplay in the background for a second. We'll see if that does anything. It should. I don't know why that would change. So get a little invite link sent out to my phone here. Here. Go. Here. Go. Oh, my meeting's over here.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to have you back, good sir.
Glad Twitter worked enough in the DM so you could send me a link. I was just when I disconnected, I'm like, oh shit, when Twitter doesn't send me the link. Still gonna be closing out the show himself.
Yeah, fucking
his dream scenario. Get rid of Pong.
Oh my god, here you go again. Here we go. All right. Let me see here. I gotta get a few more things changed here, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. I should be able to hear you now.
Hi, chat. Hopefully I'm back. Everybody let me know if you can hear me. I am back again.
Hey, good there. I got to put us back into back into OBS. We're still getting frame drops here. Guys, let us know how it's working now. We moved over. Could be YouTube acting up now. Again, I shouldn't be getting drop frames at all, but nonetheless.
I'm watching on YouTube right now, and I'm not seeing any buffering.
Nonetheless.
So far, so good. We're black screens on YouTube right now where I'm at, but
I'm about to fix that right now.
Maybe we just gotta go black screen. Maybe that's the secret. No video. Yeah, no buffering on my end right now.
No buffering on your end right now? Okay.
No buffering.
I mean, it says we're still dropping frames.
Yep, now it's starting. See, the minute you say that, then it starts on my end.
Yes, it says we're still dropping.
Yep. We are.
Well, how interesting is this? Right? How interesting is this? Also, it almost makes it kind of difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like dropping terribly now.
Hey, RWK 88, thanks for dropping in here, brother. We're having some technical issues with YouTube and all that good stuff right now, so apologize. Everybody's been trying to stick with us, and we appreciate all of you. And again, anybody who's moved on, no love loss. I totally understand, because it is frustrating for us as much as it is for you guys. Trust us, especially when Steele's trying to get things worked out. So he hates this part of it.
Need it to act normal. Again, I mean, when you go from Discord last week not giving us any issues, and now we're having issues, I don't know, man.
I haven't seen any
Don't know,
buffering.
man.
I haven't seen any buffering in a minute here, Steel. So again, I'm behind a little bit on YouTube from where we are, but I still have not seen any buffering. Been a minute.
I mean, it's up and down. It keeps dropping back down to under almost under 1,000 kilobits per second. So it's I have it set to anywhere between 4 to 6 because it's typically what's recommended for a 1080p 60 stream.
Yep.
As long as you have a strong connection. I have a strong connection. So it's just like hardwired. ENS settings have changed. Swapped over to Zoom. Discord was giving us it. I'm just gonna continue to try to set up these videos here and see if it ever fucking fixes itself. If it doesn't, then I don't know. I don't know, man. Look at it's all white and what. You're like extra white on my screen right now.
Nice. Let's go.
Got him looking
Powder.
snowman like.
Good old movie Powder. You remember that movie?
I do remember that movie. You're fucking stupid. Fucking stupid for figuring that out. All right, so get that here. Make this a little bit bigger, maybe.
Yeah, we do need a Red Dead Redemption 2 remake or remaster and bring that up to speed. 100% Blue Moon FC. Hopefully, the Red Dead Redemption 1 rumors are true, but hopefully, Rockstar isn't going to get cheap again like they did with the Grand Theft Auto stuff when they did those. Hopefully, Red Dead Redemption is an actual remaster and they do some good work on it because that deserves it. That's my favorite all time. I just saw a little buffer there. That is my favorite all time. I like John Marston's story better.
We jump back in.
I tried to refresh and okay, we're back. Nope, we're buffering.
It should be loading. It should be loading in now.
It's buffering for me like bad. There we go. There we go.
All over the place still right now. Ricardo says, live split screen console, YouTube embedding gaming in here. I bet this is going to occur more often. What do you mean, Ricardo?
We're back.
We are back. I hope it's not YouTube gaming crap. That's weird.
Yeah,
it's okay for you at the moment. Yeah, it's dropping down to under the 1,000s again.
Yeah, I see the buffering a little bit.
It's it's trying to be above a certain point. But it's still fluctuating.
Yep.
I wonder, my Xbox shouldn't be
drawing. No, it shouldn't.
Like, I don't think I'm just gonna think about my Series X. I don't have it in the power saver mode. I have it in its regular mode. So maybe there's an update or something.
That still shouldn't affect that much.
No, that's download. That shouldn't affect upload.
No.
It's buffering a little.
Yeah, it's still every once in a while. What do you want to do? You want to power through? You want to call it? Because it is. I
mean, at this point, it's just making it progressively worse. And well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I think I will just call it.
Call it, yeah.
I'm gonna make a call to my ISP, see if because I'm frustrated with that shit now. Let them know I've fucking done everything, and that's probably gonna be a whole nother rigmarole because they're going to tell me, oh, have you done all these things? And I'm gonna tell them that I've done all these things, and then it's gonna work for that day, and then we'll go back next weekend and it'll be the fucking same thing again. Hopefully not. I mean, again, last weekend we didn't have any problems and we used Discord, so no issues there. And now we're just again, it's not like I got 1,000 fucking I don't have 1,000 things running in my house. I turned off the Wi-Fi. Again, these are all things that I shouldn't be having a problem.
Right.
Is Twitch a possibility? Twitch may be a possibility. Give me a second, Nick. Thank you for bringing that up. I didn't even think about that. I don't know. I will tell you this. Our Twitch isn't set up. So I can't make any promises. I'm pretty sure we could go live on Twitch. Let me see. Let me see if I can get signed in here.
Stop. Can't wait to know what the problem is.
Don't know if I have one specifically for living split screen. Let me see.
The joys of tech. My God.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And then on the front page of Just Chatting, they got boobies on there. That's interesting.
Well, of course. Of course.
Got the Twitch. Do your thing.
Definitely something we can compete against.
Yeah. Of course. Let me see if I can get logged in here, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Let's go Twitch. Oh man, thank you all for hanging out here with us through all this stuff. Again, apologies. Wish we had more control over this garbage when it happens. Unfortunately, we're reliant upon so many different things to be working correctly, as you all are well aware of. So yeah. Just one of them days, man. Just one of them days.
It started off so well, and now it's trying to go downhill. Right.
Yep, it is. I mean, again, Twitter is completely broken right now. Fuck.
Yeah, that's another crazy thing to think about. Shit on the internet, the way shit's been going. But fucking net neutrality has been such a big thing. I had to send myself a password reset. Again, appreciate you guys for sticking it out. If you are still here, it is such a beautiful thing to see. I would not expected. But I greatly appreciate you guys. And if you're able, if I'm able to get signed into Twitch and you guys do come over, I do want to say, hey, like, I greatly appreciate you guys for even joining us there, because we literally have no presence on Twitch currently.
Rescue Squad call. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Absolutely 100%. So we'll be back. We'll be back for sure here next week. So
yeah, regardless, we'll definitely be back next week.
Yep. El Nini, yo, what's going on, El Nini? You came in while we're having massive technical problems with buffering and everything else. So we are thinking about maybe moving over to Twitch to finish out this show. We'll see if Steel can get that worked out, if we're going to do that, or if we're just going to call it. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it right now. Gotta make sure the passwords are the same. Give me a second. Real quick, I don't mean for it to be uber quiet or anything for you guys, but trying to figure some things out.
This is not normal for us. So, but to stay quiet is not the Steel and Pong way. That's for damn sure. Because we got a lot to get into. But
okay. Well, password is good. So what's the problem now? Won't let me set my password? Like what?
The gaming gods are against us. Yeah, I know, Talos. Not everybody's gonna be able to go on Twitch. I know. It's just a unfortunate backup plan. We won't be doing that permanently by any stretch of the imagination. So don't worry about that. Someday I would like to be co-streaming.
I want to go everywhere, but
yeah. Join the kick revolution. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely could be in the cards for sure.
Yep.
Right. We're competing with boobies, covered nipples on Twitch.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I think
Yeah,
we're better
whole
looking than
boob,
covered
whole
boobies.
boob out. With just the nipples
really?
covered. Yeah, whole
Just
boobs out.
nipples
Just
covered?
nipples
Okay.
covered. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got a little
yeah.
pasty on. That's it.
Hey, man, it's all good. It's just boobs, man. We all got them, right? So
Yeah, but we'll over sexualize everything else, but that's okay.
that was a social construct, man. So that's all it is. It's just a social construct, man. We should actually probably do shirts off, man. We should probably just do our show shirts off. Let's go. Why not?
As well, right?
Yeah, Decado, if Steel gets us up and running, we'll put the Twitch link in there for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely put it in chat.
Yep, for sure. 100,000%.
Now it's acting like it's not going to take the password I just changed.
Of course. I think they're telling us something. Hey, for everybody,
let's go play some Diablo, huh?
Yeah, right.
It's some
exactly. Put my stuff done and come back and play some Diablo. For everybody still here rocking out, this little thing, I don't know if Steel was going to bring this up, but you guys been rocking out with us. Most of you are OGs that are still hanging out with us right now. Again, appreciate y'all. You would have heard Steel and I talk about this last September real quick, that we had gotten this low key rumor from Ralph's Valve on Twitter. And he had he's a guy who's got connections within Activision with Call of Duty. And he had put out a tweet while he was hopping on a plane, and that tweet has since been deleted. But we had talked about this last September here. I've talked about it on PM and the PM. Mav and I did, that he had said that he had heard that they were working on that. Infinity Ward was working with ex-BioWare devs on a first-person RPG, open world RPG. That's right. Infinity Ward was working on a first person open world RPG. And we had put this out there because I had caught wind of this on Twitter. And that tweet has been since deleted. He did leave up his response to somebody where he said first person shooter RPG market. He left that up there. So the proof is still there that this was said. Well, it came out this week, right? It came out this week that Infinity Ward is opening a new studio in Barcelona. This is from Idle Sloth. Infinity Ward, and this came from Infinity Ward themselves through their blog post. Infinity Ward was opening a new studio in Barcelona. It shows their commitment to invest in Europe after the EC approval of the merger. And then also, according to IGN, Infinity Ward is seemingly working on an open world RPG at their Krakow, Poland-based studio. Oh, stars are aligning yet again, folks. It seems that little under the radar rumor was true. Shout out to Boom. He also talked about this last September as well. So it looks like the possibility, and that was through a hiring post, I believe that somebody pulled that information from. But it seems like Infinity Ward is working on an open world RPG. So we have definitely unannounced titles, unannounced projects currently within Activision Blizzard that have not been talked about yet. But wouldn't that be crazy? I'd love to see this actually be true. And if they brought in ex-BioWare devs and they're making this kind of a futuristic, maybe sci-fi, think Mass Effect type open world RPG, we could have something special. We could have something special.